We can talk, we can condemn. That's easy to do, right? Anyone can condemn, but not everyone can offer solutions. So there are things that we may have a reaction to, but I also believe that we have to offer solutions if we can or when we can. Yeah. And hopefully I can try to do that with this video. Yeah. I did a video a while back where I titled it, your attitude will determine your African experience. Your Africa experience. Yeah. The reason why I did the video, right? Because I've interacted with diasporans. And listen, guys, yeah, when I do my videos, right, I don't want people to think, because when I read some of the comments, I believe that people are gravitating towards one specific group from the diaspora. I don't want that, right? And this is why I try my best not to do that in my videos. I mean, I understand that everyone has their opinion. Everyone can form their opinion, right? But I don't want it to seem as if I'm coming across, for example, let's be frank. I don't want it to seem as if I have negative what's the word I'm looking for? I have negativity towards African Americans. And a lot of people comment in the section with that belief, right? I don't want that. I'm speaking general. If I have something to say about African Americans, I'll say it. If I have something to say about any specific group, I'll say it. But I don't want this channel to be a place where people can gather and spew negativity. Because I'm not about negativity. You understand? I am not about negativity. Let's just talk. You understand? In general, okay? So now, if you condemn certain things or whatever, you must have a solution so that you can offer something different, right? So I decided to make this video so I can talk about immigration. I am not an expert. I don't know anything. But the little that I experience, that I've gained, I'm sharing with you. And like I always say, when you're dealing with immigration and like legal stuff, you need to have legal counsel. You need to get good legal counsel. So now, you're in America, you're in Canada, you're in England, you're in Europe at large, you're in Australia, wherever you are. If you want to emigrate to another country, some people do it legally, some people do it illegally and then become legal. But if you want to emigrate to another country, for example, if you're in Africa and you want to go to the West to study, marahaba, kapawa. You want to go to the West to work, you can apply. She come over. For you want to go to the West to work, you apply. There are channels that you have to go through. A company who offer you employment will help you to get a visa. If you want to go to school, you apply to the school. Once you're approved, the school would give you the documents that you need to take to the embassy for the visa. So now you are going to the West with a student visa. Different countries have different types of visa for employment or for whatever. tourism visa, employment visa, business visa. Different countries have different visas, right? But I believe that we from the West, we think that we are coming to Africa. And we have this belief that we can just walk into Africa and the rules do not apply to us because of the passport that we have. We can come to Africa because Africa is beneath. Africa is impoverished. And when we come to Africa, we realize that Africa has some of the most stringent immigration policies. When I look at the immigration policies here to remain in Tanzania, it is more strict than Canada. Seriously, it is more strict than most countries in the West. In Canada, you come. When I went there, I went to Canada on a tourist visa. And once I got there, I applied for legal status. You understand? First of all, I applied for an extension of my visa. I was given 3 months in the country. I applied for an extension. They gave me an extra 120 days. And within that 120 days, I had a lawyer who started to prepare my documentation. And by the time immigration called me in for the first interview, it was 8 months. Then I was granted legal status that I was able to work because I'm in the country and I'm able to work. And the process of becoming a legal resident began. So many of us have not left our base country. Many of us have not traveled internationally. Many of us who come to Africa travel for the first time. And then when we come here, we believe that because we have a passport, because we hold a certain passport, and I keep stressing this because I want us to have a level of comprehension. I want us to have a level of knowledge that it is not so. You may have a powerful passport. I have a very powerful passport. I can go to many countries that I don't have to get a visa. I can go to many countries that offer me visa on arrival. I can go to many countries that even if I apply for a visa, I guarantee to get the visa within a few days because of the passport that I hold and because of the passport that many of us hold. But listen, if you are emigrating to another country, if you want to take up residency in another country, being a tourist and trying to be a legal resident of a country is completely different. Guys, it is no different than coming to Africa. Don't be fooled because you think Africa is third world. Don't be fooled because you think Africa is developing. So because I am from certain countries in the West, I can just walk into Africa just like that. It don't happen that way. You come to Tanzania, you either come here on a tourist visa, and if you want to do business in Tanzania, if you want to become a legal resident in Tanzania, right, there is no permanent residency in Tanzania. But if you want to become a legal resident in Tanzania, there are things that you must do. The easier way, what most people do, is to open a business. Register and open a business. When you do that now, there are different levels, right? You can do it on your own. You have to have a certain amount of money, $100,000. You can deposit $100,000 in a Tanzanian bank account. You will get legal resident automatically. If you have a $500,000 investment, it comes with legal resident. Or you partner with a local Tanzanian. If you do not have the amount of money that's needed, you can partner with a local Tanzanian. They own a certain percentage of the business, and you can have residency through that business. If you retire and you come to Tanzania, there are different visas. If you're doing like charity work and you come to Tanzania, there are different visas. If you have a company, and these are different type of visas. So you have to know, as someone who is seeking a resident in that country, what the requirements are. But many of us come here and we do not do the research. Many of us come here and we believe that we can get residency because of the passport that we hold. It does not work like that. So I want you to understand that before you go abroad seeking residency, know what it takes, know what it entails. Know. It is your responsibility to know. And I find it upsetting, and I find it to be arrogant on our part to think that we can just come here and residency will be given to us. Mind you, there are countries in Africa that will do that. Sierra Leone, if you can prove that you belong to one of the ethnic groups in Sierra Leone through your DNA, Temne, Mendes, one of those groups, you deposit a certain amount of money in a Sierra Leonean bank account. I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe it's $100 US. I believe, I'm not sure. Why? Sierra Leone need foreign currency. Tanzania right now needs foreign currency, US dollars. Right? They will give you residency in Sierra Leone. Ghana has made it easier, and Ghana is a leading African country. Ghana has made it easier to live there and to obtain residency. It's only $100 and something. The Gambia, Nigeria, those countries has made it. Liberia, has made it easier to obtain residency there. You come to Tanzania, I understand. You fall in love with Tanzania because Tanzania offers us peace. Tanzania is a stable country. Tanzania don't have like conflicts like other countries have. Tanzania has been a very stable, very peaceful country. Don't let the walls around your like compound and the electrical fence fool you. Tanzania is a relatively safe country. And like I always tell people, we in the West, you may have ADT at home, you may have alarm force, you may have one of those security system at home. It's the same thing here. The walls that you see in my house, the electric fence you see in my house, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Why fortify your house in like North America? Why? My house is like 45 here. It's just that you can physically see it because we don't have those internet security force companies. So you come to Tanzania, you travel around Tanzania, you fall in love with Tanzania, and when you want to stay here, you realize, oh my God, this is what I have to do. Oh my God, it costs so much money. Oh my God. Why? If you cannot afford it, don't be upset. Leave. Find another country. You may not like it as much as you love Tanzania, but it's what you have to do because you do not meet the requirements. Like it or not, this is how the system is in Tanzania. You think I like it 100%? I don't. But I love this country. I want to live here. I know what I want. I want to live in Tanzania. So guess what? I have to do what it takes to remain here by law. You come to Tanzania, you don't have any money. You don't have any money. I'm not even going to say savings because you cannot come to Africa and live off of savings. It's going to deplete. So if you come into Africa, you have to figure out now, how am I going to support myself? You come into Africa, you got to figure out, okay, this is what Tanzania requires. Do I have enough money to do a business there that I can stay there? Or you know what, I love Tanzania, but Tanzania is not for me. Let me find another country. You don't have any right to be upset. If the Tanzanian government asks me to leave Tanzania right now, guess what? I have no choice. I have to leave. I may not like it, but I have to go. Right? So, Salam alaikum. If you come to North America, and this is the thing, because a lot of us in the West were like, we don't want immigrants in our country. Immigrants are taking our jobs. Immigrants are doing this and whatever. We don't want it. And you come to Africa, because you don't realize when immigrants come to the West, you don't realize what they have to go through. You think that they are just coming and government are just handing them stuff. You have to remember there is the Geneva Convention of 1954 or 1955 that many countries sign up to when it comes to immigration. So if someone comes to your border and claim refugee status, if someone comes to your borders and claim asylum, yes, that's the better word, asylum. Because of the Geneva Convention of 1955, I don't remember the exact date. Countries that sign up to the Geneva Convention cannot send them away. You have to accept them, you have to bring them in, and then they go through the process. You have to have a hearing, and then an immigration judge or an immigration panel will decide if the claim of that individual is a just claim. If it's not a just claim, you send them back. You understand? So when you come to Africa, it's the same kind of process you have to go through. So don't be upset. Find out what the rules are. Know if you meet the requirements. But a lot of us come to Africa broke. A lot of us come to Africa thinking, I'm going to do YouTube and I'm going to make money on YouTube. You may start a YouTube channel and it don't go any. I've seen it happens. And many of you have seen it happen on YouTube. You come to Africa, you don't have any money. You cannot start a business. You cannot do anything in Africa. You're stuck here. You are not qualified to remain in certain countries that you may love. Coming to Africa can be a beautiful thing. Coming to Africa can be simple if you plan well and you execute your plan well. You strategize well. Look at me, I'm here. I can afford to stay in Tanzania. I don't have to do business in Tanzania. I can put my feet up and I can travel all over Africa. Because I plan well. I saved my money, I invested my money well, that I can afford to live here. I have a good job where I have a pension when I'm ready to take it. On my pension alone from my job, I can live here comfortable. I live below my means in Tanzania. Look at where I live. You guys know. Look at my surrounding. It's beautiful, fresh and clean. Well, not clean, but it's beautiful, fresh air. Beautiful. I can live in Msasani. I can live in Mbezi. I can live wherever, man. Even if I want to live in Oyster Bay, I could. But I live a comfortable life here on a $1,200 budget. First, I was living on $800 a month. I lived, but I decided, you know what? I want to travel around more. I need a little cushion. I up my budget. I shop locally. I eat locally. I live locally. I mingle locally. Guys, I don't go to a big supermarket here unless there is something I need. Then I would. But apart from that, I don't. You understand? So if you plan properly, if you strategize, if you have income, you can come to Africa and you can live, you can work. But don't come to Africa broke. And then when you realize you have to spend so much money to remain in Africa, you get upset. You go on YouTube and you're trashing the country. You're trashing the rules of the country. You have no right to. I'm sorry. You have no right. When immigrants come to your country, they have to follow the rules. When you leave your country and you come to another country, why do you think you don't have to follow the rules? You're not above anything because you have a powerful passport. I always say, you come to Africa, assimilate, associate, mingle, and you will see the difference it will make. You come to Africa and you want to isolate yourself from the local population. Yes, you have to be careful. Yes, you have to be careful. Yes, you have to be careful. I'm stressing that because you have to be careful. But you mingle, you find a good group of friends. I'm lucky that way. When I moved to this area here, I met one guy, and I talked about it before, who became my best Tanzanian friend. I talked about him a lot on my videos. He lives right over there. I can just walk, or I can stay here. I can call him. He comes over. I go over. We sit here. We chat. He comes to my house. We chat. I go to his house. We chat. And thank God for him. I also have my Tanzanian brother, but it's a different relationship I have with my brother than my best Tanzanian friend. So I was lucky that way. I had two people in my life in Tanzania who helped me. I'm traveling tomorrow morning because we go to my village. My Tanzanian brother took me to his village. They accepted me. They made me feel welcome. Habari. They made me feel welcome. They made me a part of the community. The ceremony that was done is on my YouTube channel. Go way back about 2-3 years ago. You will see it. It's a short video. It's an old video. You will see it. It's there where they did the traditional ceremony, welcoming me into the village and accepting me into the village. So we are traveling there tomorrow morning. There is a wedding coming up. So if you are willing to associate, you may meet good people that will take you to the village. You will meet the elders in the village. They may accept you as part of that community, but it takes time to build these relationships here in Africa. But it is worth it. So no, please no. If you don't know, like I mentioned in a previous video, contact the embassy of the country that you are going to. Ask them. They may send you a package. They may send you a link. I mentioned that in a previous video. Read. Know what it takes. I'm doing this and I'm trying to stress this. This video is long, but I'm trying to stress this so that you'll have a level of understanding. And when you come, you will not be disappointed. You will not be upset because now you realize for me to stay in Tanzania, man, before I get residency, I have to get a new, if I'm doing business, I have to get a new business visa every 90 days. And it costs $250 US. And then I have to leave Tanzania and then come back in. That's an extra cost that I have to incur because I may have to go to another country in Tanzania, around Tanzania, whereby I stay for 2 weeks, or if not, I have to fly back to my home country. All of that costs money. You understand? All of that is money. I don't have this type of money. So I cannot afford to stay in Tanzania. Or if I have residency in Tanzania, residency is only for 2 years, and for one person is $2,050, although I heard now that the price went up. And it's me, my wife, I have 2 kids. That's almost what, $10,000 right there, almost, just for residency. Every 2 years I have to spend. I don't have that kind of money. So let me look for another country. These are things that you have to know before you pack up your family and come here, and then you realize, oh my God, I'm here with my family. I have to pay 20,000 shilling, $20,000 just to remain in Tanzania every 2 years. There are people here with 7 kids. There are people here with so many kids. It adds up. The cost is astronomical to stay in Tanzania long term. I'm bringing my two grandsons here with me next year because I want them to have the African experience. I want them, and I want to keep them here as long as I can. My sons would have no problem with me taking them. I want to keep them here with me so that they can grow here their formidable years to know what it means to be a man. Yeah, so. And I already calculate the cost of them being here. I know. So these are things that you have to know in advance, you have to plan in advance, and you have to be prepared for. And if we know these things, we don't have to go online and complain about it. Because you are not entitled. Believe you guys. You are not entitled to anything in Africa until we are recognized, until there are policies in place for us to migrate to Africa, to come back to Africa, which they should be. And this is the fight that we should have. This is the fight that we should have. Come together and have the fight so that the African Union would have policies in place for us to return to Africa and settle in Africa and not lump us in the same group as others who come to Africa. Because we come to Africa, we are no different than the white man, the Chinese, the Indians who want to come here. We must have a different set of policies for us because we are descendant of this land. So that's the fight worth having. How do we get policies to change in our favor? This is the fight we should have. Guys, this is the African Zombie. Thank you for watching this video. I hope this video enlightened you. I hope this video give you a sense of what it takes to move to another country. Different countries have different policies. Different countries have different laws. You understand? A lot of people come into Africa and then they leave. They go to Thailand or Southeast Asia or whatever because of less restrictions. Yeah, Kenya just introduced the nomadic visa, so it is something that you can look into, right? It is something that you can look into what it takes to get that visa, what's the process, the cost, and all of that stuff. Yeah, so if it's your first time here, thank you, welcome. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. My returning subscribers, I appreciate you guys for sticking with me, for commenting on my videos. I appreciate you guys for sharing my videos. I appreciate you guys for liking the video. Continue to like, comment, and share. Thank you for watching the video. Peace and love. Continue sharing with me as we navigate Tanzania, the policies, the beautiful countryside, beautiful weather. Bye for now.